Here's how I finally understood the level design of my game, Swapping Sellout. Swapping Sellout is a stealth game where you're given an objective where you swap the items that are inside the car that indicates the location of where you need to swap the item with inside the store. People explain they love the unpredictability of the game, trying to understand where the location of the items they have to bring to, as well as what the AI is going to do inside the world. From that feedback, that's what I was gathering what people enjoyed out of the game. But there was something that would prove me wrong about knowing anything about my game. It was until I made the second map. Let's start what went well with it. First was understanding the scale. It was obviously going to be a smaller map. I reviewed the scale on the grid paper of the convenience store and compared it to what I was making with the garage sale. Overall, in terms of scale, it looked like a garage sale, but compared to the convenience store, it's much smaller. This is supposed to be the second level, and yet it's obviously going to be easier. Based on what I believed, I thought adding more randomness would make it more difficult, as well as what players were looking for. But this completely removes a whole bunch of design in the game that I've been neglecting. Let me explain. I thought our game was as simple as grab the items, avoid the enemy, swap shop items, return it. But our game had a lot more player choice than I thought. When I looked at the convenience store level, I had to review why it worked. First, every aisle had a distinct order and location. This would mean that every letter was memorizable, not random. Meaning making all of the aisles random, I would be removing that player choice. But this came in sacrifice to realizing that no matter what I did, the garage sale would be an easier level. After accepting that, I've changed this level to a much more organized format similar to the convenience store. But that's not all. There was still one more problem. I didn't understand it until I had to dig deeper into our inspiration. Our game took inspiration by other indie horror games around convenience stores. We simply made the map, but we didn't understand the function of the windows and the layout. As you can see, before going in, the player can review the whole map of where the enemy is. Added on top, there's distinct walls and sections the enemy could be. It's a game of a lack of information, but as well given enough to progress. Looking at our garage sale, everything is an open area. There's no distinct sections where the enemies could be hiding. This is a version of the garage sale with distinct areas that give clear player choice when reviewing the map from the outside. Let's conclude by rephrasing what I thought about the game to how I see it now. Grab the red items. Review the enemy and the distinct locations they're at. Review the aisle letters and memorize them. Swap the items as well as increasing your memorization of the letter locations. Then finally, return all swapped items to the car. That concludes how a second level made me finally understand the level design of Swapping Sellout.